Welcome to Slow Flow Vinyasa. Tonight, we will begin in a comfortable seated position just to get into our space, back into our bodies, to drop in, just checking in with ourselves. So, when you are ready, just find a comfortable seat, however that looks and feels like for you. You can use a blanket, a block, something to sit up onto to lift the hips to make your seat more comfortable. Cross-legged or sitting on the heels also is great, but you do you, making yourself nice and comfortable. And when you feel ready, you can close the eyes down or keep the eyes open. Just soften the gaze down the bridge of the nose and start to bring your awareness to the ears and listening for the sounds around you. Just noticing what draws your attention the most. And see if you can really tune into that one sound that is keeping your attention. And see if you can turn the volume up of that specific sound as you let all other sounds around you soften away. Like you have full control over the volume of everything in your awareness. And start to tune into your breath. Start to notice your breath today without changing or manipulating the breath in any way in this moment. Just getting to know your breath right now, right here in this moment. Feeling the heartbeat in your chest, feeling the lungs breathing for you. Does it feel labored, difficult to breathe, or does it feel easy and fluid and soft, or anywhere in between? Now see if you can turn the volume up of your own breath, breathing a little bit louder, taking a little bit more control over the breath, inhaling fully, pausing at the top just for a moment, and then exhale, emptying out completely, pausing empty, noticing what that feels like. Drawing the breath in fully, expand through the lungs, pausing at the top, and exhale, completely emptying out, pausing empty. Again, just tuning inward and noticing what's going on within us without judgment, without concern, just a gentle curiosity. And then start to scan the body, noticing how you're feeling today. Maybe noticing the tension, the tightness, the stiffness, maybe pain or discomfort anywhere in the body. Just notice it. Notice where it lives, how it feels, what it looks like, what color, what shape it might be. What texture is it? And then bringing your awareness back to the breath, breathing louder than those sensations of the discomfort, of the pain, of the stress that lives in our bodies, and knowing that as we move and breathe, we will release, things will shift and change for us. Just trusting the process, trusting our bodies know best and how to release the stress. All we get to do is learn to surrender and let go of the stress and tension. It is certainly a practice to learn to let go, to learn to relax, especially if we are in a habit of always being on the go, maybe distracting ourselves from our pain or discomfort, or yeah, any other habits that keep us from actually being with that discomfort. Again, without judgment or concern, we're just noticing because awareness is the first step to healing anything, being aware of what's going on within us. And now start to bring that chest down towards the chin or chin towards the chest. And then bringing that right ear towards the right shoulder, left ear, left shoulder. And then big circular motions with the head in one direction. And then the opposite direction. And then back through center. Interlace the hands together. Bring the hands to the back of the neck. Elbows are out wide. Start to lift the chin. Look up, but keep the eyes closed. Stay inward. Big breath in. Arch the upper back. Exhale, tuck that chin. Bring the elbows in towards the face, rounding everything like you're trying to bring your elbows down towards the navel. Rounding in the upper back like an angry cat. Inhale, lifts, opens up the chest. Seated cat cow. Exhale, tucking everything in, rounding. Inhale, opens. Exhale, closes. Inhale, opens. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open, come to a neutral spine, and start to drop that right elbow down towards the right, down towards the ground. Then start to lift that chin up towards the ceiling. And then back through center, and then dropping that left elbow down, right elbow up, chin up. And then back through center. Taking a bind behind the back, you can either interlace the hands together or reach for opposite wrists or elbows, whatever works best. If you have the bind, the interlaced hands, you can bring the bind to the right hip. And if you've got the other grips, you can just bring the elbows to the right a bit more. And then start to drop that right ear towards that right shoulder, chin tucked in, breathing into that left shoulder, left collarbone region, all the way up into the left side of the neck and into the ear. And then switch other side. Doing the opposite, the bind to the left ear to the left shoulder, chin tucked in. Softly breathing into that right shoulder, noticing any tension or tightness dissipating on the exhale, releasing what is not ours and calling all of our energy back into our body, back into our energy field just by breathing. Our prana, our life force energy, our breath is the magic sauce, if you will, to this entire practice. The whole point of this practice is to work with our own energy, to get to know our own energy, be more effective and efficient with our own energy. Good, and release. Reach those arms open wide. Big breath in. And then exhale, give yourself a big hug. Squeeze those arms around you. Reach those elbows away from you. Tuck that chin in. And then open those arms wide. Big breath in. And then opposite arm on top as you hug yourself. Tuck that chin in. Reach those elbows away from you. And then back through center. Arms stretch out overhead. Big breath in. And then right hand plants onto the ground. Left arm reaches over to the right. A little bit deeper side stretch here. Lifting that chin up towards the ceiling. And then inhale through center. Exhale to the left. Inhale through center. And then exhale, twist to your right. Bring that right hand behind you. Left hand comes to the right knee. Sitting up nice and tall, look past that right shoulder. And inhale through center, reach up overhead. Exhale to the left. And sitting up nice and tall, looking past the left shoulder. Inhale through center. And then exhale, fold forward over those legs. And then sit up tall. Coming into tabletop from here on the hands and knees. Tucking the toes underneath you. And beginning cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin. And exhale, tucks the chin, lifts the belly. And then find your flow with your own breath, moving and breathing at your own pace. Just making it feel really good. You can even explore other little movements, intuitive movement along the way. Maybe you want to play with the speed, going faster or slower. Maybe playing with holding the posture a little bit longer, holding the inhale and the exhale. And then back through center, tucking the toes under and lifting the hips for downward facing dog. As you arrive there, just walking the feet out, bending the knees a couple times, shifting the hips from side to side. Just getting into the hips, getting into the back body. Letting the head be heavy. So the hands are shoulder width apart, flat palms, wide fingers. The feet are hip width apart, reaching those heels down and back. Lifting through the sit bones, navel squeezing in towards the spine, hollowing out the belly. Gazing back towards the knees or upper thighs, maybe even up towards the navel. And then come forward into high plank, dropping the knees to the ground, shifting the weight forward, slowly lower to the belly, elbows into the rib cage. Chaturanga supported. Untuck those toes, gentle press of the hands, lifting the chest for low cobra. Inhale. Exhale, lowers to the ground. Inhale, a little bit higher, cobra. Exhale, lowers. Inhale, a little bit higher, cobra yet. Exhale, lowers. And then pressing back into child's pose from here, knees wide. Sit back onto the heels. Stretch those arms out overhead. Forehead pressing gently into the mat. And then tuning into that breath, turning the volume up of the breath, turning the volume down of the mind, of the thoughts, of the sensations, dropping into that surrender, that deep relaxation. Reminding our bodies and minds that it's safe to relax, it's safe to let go, it's safe to make space within our body and mind. And from there, walk those hands off to the right, side stretch in child's pose. And then walk those hands to the left. And then back through center. And taking a deep breath in and holding. And exhale out the mouth. And then coming up into tabletop from here. Planting that left hand in the center of your mat. Right arm goes high. Inhale, reach up towards the ceiling. Big breath in. And then exhale, thread that arm through, dropping onto that right shoulder. Keeping the hips stacked over the knees. You can use that left hand to gently press yourself into this twist. Or you can take that left arm around the low back for a bind. And press to rise back up. Right arm goes high. Inhale. Back to tabletop. Exhale. And then right hand plants in the center, left arm goes high. Inhale. Exhale, thread that arm through, dropping onto the shoulder. And then press to rise back up. Left arm goes high. Inhale. And back to tabletop. Exhale. And then from here, puppy dog pose. So the hips stay stacked over the knees. Start to walk those hands away from the body. Forehead or chin can come to the mat. And dropping the chest down towards the ground. If the shoulders are tight, just give yourself a little bit more room in the shoulders by walking the arms wider, and bending the elbows even can help too. And then press to rise back up, back into that tabletop position. And then angry cat. Tuck that chin, lift through the belly. Pressing the mat away. And then taking a few cat cow. And then lifting yourself back into downward facing dog from there. Shifting the weight from side to side once again. And lifting that right leg high, three-legged down dog, bending that knee and opening up that hip. Look under that right arm. And then back to downward facing. And left leg high, bending that knee, opening up that hip. And then back to downward facing. Walking the hands back towards the feet. Feet are hip width apart or a little bit wider. Start to bend the knees quite a bit. And then reaching for opposite elbows, dangle forward fold. Letting the arms and head be heavy here. And then release the hands to the ground. Turn the toes out wide. Start to bend the knees towards the heels for low malasana squat. The hands can stay on the ground or press at heart center. Sit up nice and tall. And then walk back out to downward facing dog. Lifting that right leg high, three-legged down dog. And bringing knee to nose and step it through between the hands for runner's lunge. You can stay on the hands for support. And then start to drop that left knee to the ground for low lunge. If you have blocks or some sort of support, you can use that. And then straighten that front leg out, half splits. And that heel pressing into the ground, toes flex up towards the ceiling. Left hip stays stacked over that left knee. Reaching that right hip back, left hip forward. And then rebend the knee. Start to walk that foot to the right edge of your mat. Bring that right arm to the inside of that right leg. Pressing firmly into the ground or on your blocks. Low lizard lunge. And keeping that right knee squeezing in towards that right shoulder. And then tuck the back toes, lift that back knee for a high lizard lunge. And then step back to downward facing dog from there. Left leg high, inhale. And take that knee to nose, step it through between the hands for lizard or runner's lunge. Couple breaths here. Maybe grab your blocks. And then drop that right knee to the ground for low lunge. And then start to straighten that front leg out, half splits. Walk the hands underneath the shoulders. Left heel pressing up. And rebend that left knee. Walk that foot to the left edge of your mat. Bring that left arm to the inner leg. Coming into that low lizard lunge. And then lift the back knee for high lizard lunge. And then step back to downward facing dog from there. And then from here, we're going to come into half pigeon, right knee coming to that right wrist, shin comes to the ground. For support, we can place a blanket or a block underneath that right hip. Left leg goes along behind you. You can also place support underneath the sternum or underneath the forehead or all three places. Finding a place where you can surrender into, soften into as best you can without needing to do much fidgeting. Try to drop into the breath, slow down that breath, turn the volume of your breath up, turn the volume of your mind and your thoughts down. And then from here, pressing yourself up onto the hands. We're gonna sit down onto that right hip and swing that left leg out in front of us. And that left foot can press in front of that shin, the right shin. You can hold that left knee up with that right arm, and we're gonna twist to our left. Sit up nice and tall. Feel both sit bones ground down, keeping that chin tucked in. And then twist all the way to your right. And then back through center, flipping over into downward facing dog from there. And then bringing that left knee to the left wrist, Shin comes underneath you. Right leg goes long behind you, using a block or blanket to support you. And maybe underneath that left hip, maybe underneath the sternum or underneath the forehead, or anywhere else that feels needed. And dropping in to the breath as soon as you arrive here. Noticing when the mind wants to wander off and distract us from being in our bodies. And just notice that and come back to the breath. In yogic texts, they refer the mind as the monkey mind. And I like that playful analogy because I can visualize the mind as this cute little monkey that just wants to be playful and swing from the treetops and go all over the place and explore and create and just live life. Yeah. And just like that's the dharma or the job, the purpose of our mind is to think, to process. And when we don't have our monkey mind on a leash, it can get out of control. So essentially, our yoga practice is training our monkey mind to be on a leash, just like training a puppy to walk on a leash. It takes time to teach them that, skill, training them. Just like any other muscle, we need to train our mind to focus, train our mind to relax, train our mind to let go of control, let go of thought patterns, experiences, pain, problems that we ruminate on, just letting it all go. And when we let go and create space for ourselves, we can then connect to our intuition, our creative side of ourselves. And that's where the problem solving really comes from. That's where we want to problem solve from, is our creative mind, our intuition, from our sixth sense, the feeling sense of our body, the deep knowingness, what is best and in alignment for us and our path, despite what the 3D is reflecting back to us. And rewriting old patterns of the mind, of the monkey mind, into new thought patterns of belief in ourself, belief in healing, belief in resilience of body and mind, belief that we can do hard things. Good. Start to press up out of this. Sitting off to that left hip, swinging that right leg forward in front of that shin. Sit up nice and tall, holding that right knee with the left arm as you twist to the right. And then twisting all the way to your left. And then back through center. And finding your from here, bringing the knees into the chest, forehead to the knees. And then plant those feet hip width apart, nice and close to the legs or to the glutes, excuse me. And then start to lift the hips, roll the shoulders underneath you, reach for a bind behind the back, maybe, or reach down towards the ankles. And then start to lower back to the ground, bringing the knees back into the chest, forehead to the knees. And then tee the arms off to the side, dropping the knees to the right, gazing to your left. Supine twist. And bringing those knees back through center. And then dropping them to the left, gazing to your right. And bringing the knees back through center. And reach for happy baby. As the knees go wide, you can hold the back of the knees or outer feet. Maybe you want to roll from side to side. And then crossing that right knee over top of the left. Squeeze the knees in towards the chest. You can hold the knees, shins, or outer feet. A reclined Gomukhasana, cow face pose. And switch left leg on top or opposite leg, whatever you did last time. And squeeze those knees into the chest, holding the knees, shins, or ankles. And release. Bring those feet to the ground. Feet come together, knees wide, making a diamond shape with the legs. Reaching for opposite elbows over the crown of the head if you'd like, or cactus arms for Supta Baddha Konasana. And breathing deeply into the belly, feeling the rise and fall of the chest and belly. How slowly, how deeply can you breathe here? And bringing those knees back together, knees into the chest, forehead to the knees. Take a big bed stretch. Arms and legs go long. And then bringing those legs out wide, toes splay out, arms down by your side, palms facing up. We're going to do a little reset breath before Shavasana. So the reset breath is a powerful breath to reset basically the entire nervous system so we can really relax and let go even further to uh, to do the reset breath. It's a double inhale through the nose and a big exhale out the mouth. And the entire time we're staying really relaxed throughout the entire body. You might start to feel lightheaded or a little tingly. That's very normal. You can go at your own pace, uh, keeping the eyes closed, staying inward while we do this. But see if you can push through the discomfort that does come from breath work. You'll start to feel very light and bright throughout the entire physical body and mental, emotional, energetic body as we do this breath. So take a few cleansing breaths in and out the nose. And again, it's a double breath in. So it's like a sniffing effect. It's a exhale out the mouth, going at your own pace. Deep breath in and hold. Sip in a little bit more and hold. Whenever you feel the need to, you can exhale and relax into Shavasana. And starting to come back into your body, back in, back into your space. And start to just visualize the space that you're in with your eyes closed. Just take in the surroundings, noticing where your body's at in time and space. Feel the weight of your body as it sinks into the earth, feeling the support below you. Checking in with yourself, noticing how you're feeling after your practice tonight. And start to deepen the breath. Inhale fully, pausing at the top. Exhale fully. And start to find intuitive movement. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Rocking the head from side to side. Maybe taking a big bed stretch. Eventually rolling onto your side, using the arm as a pillow. And then from there, you can press yourself up into a comfortable seat. Bringing the hands into the lap, just as we began, just checking in with yourself one last time and giving yourself that space to just be with yourself, distraction free. And bringing the hands to heart center, palms pressed together. I invite you to set an intention for the rest of your night. How do you want to feel going forward off of your mat? What can you take from your practice tonight into your everyday life to focus on? Because what we focus on will grow. So focus on the good, the abundance, the flow, the love, the support that you have already in your life, already within you, all just a breath away. And then we'll take a group breath together, taking a deep breath in and deep breath out the mouth. And gratitude for making it to our mat today, despite any resistance that tried to keep us from showing up for ourselves. And gratitude for another day of life, another practice. Gratitude for the mirror that is this practice, reflecting back to us who we are being. And gratitude for the health and healing ability of our bodies and minds and the teacher and student that lives within us. Thank you so much for joining me. From my heart to yours, the soul in me honors and respects the soul in you. Namaste.